This is Robert Martellacci of the MindShare Learning Report. I'm here at the Quest Conference, focused on 21st century learning, hosted by the York Region Catholic District School Board. And we have the good fortune of connecting with one of the presenters sponsored by Microsoft, Miguel Nussbaum from Chile. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me.
Hi. Thanks
Miguel,
for being here.
perhaps you can share with us a little bit about your session that you ran this afternoon. I heard it was very well received.
Thank you very much. The key point is, how do we transform the learning experience? We have to understand that we are still under the 19th century paradigm, where the teacher is the key element in the classroom, and our kids are passive receptioners of the contents that the teacher is delivering, while outside school the kids are extremely interactive with what's happening outside school. So how can we really change what's happening outside the school and inside the school? And my research in Chile for the last 15 years has been how can technology be a bridge to really make a change on what happens inside the classroom.
Fascinating. Now, you've spent the last 15 years focused on this. We are only starting the conversation in Canada in the last couple of years about 21st century learning skills. And we just hosted a national summit on this topic. So it seems you travel the world, I'm sure. It seems it's pretty consistent around the world. But who's leading?
Who's leading? Nobody's leading. That's the problem.
Nobody's leading. Are there pockets of innovation that you see?
They are innovators. They are people that are improving the 19th century classroom, but nobody yet has changed the classroom.
And what's that going to take to change? What do we need to kickstart this change? There is a lot of momentum being built up. I'm optimistic about the change that's occurring, although it doesn't happen soon enough. The kids seem to be driving it with their the digital natives and the use of mobile technology. The good news is costs are coming down. What's your perspective on that?
The problem is that people think that bringing the wikis, the tweets, and the Facebooks and the YouTube to the classroom, they make a change. The change is not in the technology, the change is in the pedagogy, and that's the hard part. Because how do we really focus in a different way the way we teach? It's not just using technology, it's how do we address technology to learn in a different way, to teach such that kids are the active elements learning the curricula. Because the problem is that outside the school we have all these tools. Of course kids are learning a lot, but we still want that the kids learn the curricula. If that's what we want to teach, that's another point. But we still are addressed to a curricula. I personally don't like the curricula today, but that's the curricula we have, so we have to teach this curricula. But with the tools we have today, we're not teaching the curricula. And how do we teach the curricula with the technology we have available? That's the big question.
So if you were the Premier of Ontario or the Education Minister, and you had the opportunity, a clean slate, if you will, or interactive whiteboard, and you could design a system of the future, where would you begin?
At the schools of education, you have to change the discourse of the teachers. You have to help them to make a bridge of what do we need and what we do. Because what happens is we have to make like a different form of approaching the classroom. It's not just bringing technology inside the classroom. We have to integrate digital and not digital resources. There is a very good researcher at the EPFL in Lausanne, Switzerland, that talks about orchestration. We have to know how to take this orchestra of elements, which include digital elements, to really change the classroom and make it the 21st century classroom. That's not talking about the 21st century. Really make the change. And the 21st century classroom where the kids is the key element and not the teacher. Because when you bring, for example, interactive whiteboards, who's playing with the whiteboard? The teacher, not the kid.
Right.
What we need is the kids playing with technology inside the classroom.
Absolutely.
Kids being the active element, and the teacher, the guide that really shows what we have to do and mediates those kids that really needs.
Well, I like the analogy of an orchestra, and I certainly think the faculties of education are lagging behind, and that's a great start. I mean, you got to begin somewhere. But thank you so much for your time. That was Miguel Nussbaum from Chile, who is here with the Microsoft folks and presenting at the Quest conference. My name is Robert Martellacci, and until next time, keep the learning curve steep.